It's utterly bewildering how so many car brands have been literally trampling over each other to be the fastest to ditch internal combustion engines and hitch themselves to the all-electric bandwagon. Current generations of ICE cars are the cleanest and most efficient we have seen in the whole of automotive history, providing levels of refinement, economy and performance that would have been unheard of just a couple of decades ago, and at historically low levels of both CO2 as well as toxins and particulates. So it's even more astonishing that these brands are prepared to abandon these pinnacles of engineering for the trendy craze for EVs. But that's exactly what's happened. But now Mercedes has backtracked on its previous position and announced it will continue to build ICE cars well into the 2030s, in a sign that automotive manufacturers are finally waking up to the harsh reality that EVs will never be the replacement for ICE cars that governments around the world fraudulently pretend they are. Welcome back to M-Guy, British engineer and lawyer turned Sydney YouTuber. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop a comment down below, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter X. I am hoping that this will be the beginning of the automotive Jenga that it should be, when the lies and falsehoods on which this mad push for net zero and electrification is built start to crumble, bringing the entire shaky edifice down with it. Mercedes has in the past been extremely bullish about its transition to an all-electric fleet, with this as recently as 2021. Mercedes-Benz presses fast forward on switch to EVs. German carmaker says it's racing to introduce pure electric cars while phasing out combustion power faster than planned. Mercedes-Benz has radically tweaked its product plans in a bid to speed up the introduction of pure electric vehicles. According to Germany's Manager magazine, the move to embrace full electrification at a higher rate than previously planned will also see combustion powertrains phased out faster than previously envisaged. According to insiders speaking to the monthly business paper, the shake-up within Mercedes-Benz will see pure electric models originally planned for a launch date of 2024 or 2025 introduced at least a year earlier, while the equivalent combustion-powered vehicles will be dropped from the range altogether. Daimler has not commented on the new report, but CEO Ola Källenius has tipped to announce the new ambitious plans to embrace electrification earlier, before the European summer break next month. Helping pave the way for rolling out EVs earlier, it's already been reported that Benz will axe slower-selling coupe and convertible models from its range and halt development of their replacements to enable it to refocus its resources on next-gen electric cars. Mercedes had also announced back in 2021 that it was ploughing $47 billion, with a B, dollars into the switch to electric, including for its own battery plants. Along with the announcement, Daimler also revealed is setting up 4 new battery plants in Europe and 1 in the US, though the exact locations have not been revealed publicly. Next-generation batteries will be highly standardized and suitable for use in more than 90% of all Mercedes-Benz cars and vans, while being flexible enough to offer individual solutions to all customers, Mercedes-Benz shared in a statement. With regard to cell manufacturing, Mercedes-Benz intends to team up with new European partners to develop and efficiently produce future cells and modules, a step which ensures that Europe remains at the heart of the auto industry, even in an electric era. Daimler Chief Executive Ola Källenius told Reuters, "We really want to go for it and be dominantly, if not all, electric by the end of the decade." He also added that spending on internal combustion engine technology would be close to zero by 2025. Well, how times change, because less than 3 years later, the company is in full reverse as demand for EVs crashes. Mercedes-Benz chief vows to build petrol cars well into 2030s. German car giant waters down its targets for electric vehicle sales as demand slumps. The boss of German car giant Mercedes-Benz has said it will make petrol cars well into the 2030s, as it watered down its targets for electric vehicle EV sales. Ola Källenius, the group's chief executive, said the era when EVs would cost the same as an equivalent petrol car was still many years away. Mercedes had previously promised that its whole car lineup would be battery-powered by 2030, but has since walked back that ambition. The car company, which develops upmarket saloons such as the S-Class and the electric EQ range, said it expected electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids to make up 50% of sales by the late 2020s, but that it will keep building petrol hybrids into the next decade. The decision comes amid declining demand for electric vehicles as high costs deter many drivers. Meanwhile, Western car makers are battling fierce competition from Chinese entrants which offer cheaper alternatives. The EU, meanwhile, watered down its own ban on petrol sales from 2035, allowing so-called synthetic e-fuels, which can be used to power an internal combustion engine, after fierce lobbying from Germany. Mr. Källenius told Bloomberg on Thursday that cost equivalence between EVs and petrol is many years away. You can see that in the pricing. Mercedes said it expected its sales during the first half of 2024 to be below 2023 levels, while the share of electric and plug-in hybrid sales would remain static at between 19% to 21% of new sales. It has recently added electric vehicles such as the eSprinter electric van to its lineup. The group added the wider economic prospects for the car sector were characterized by an exceptional degree of uncertainty. With trade tensions simmering between the US, Europe and China, now the car maker's biggest market in terms of sales. The European Commission has launched an investigation into China's subsidies for electric cars, which are now flooding European markets. The chief financial officer of Mercedes has previously commented on the difficulties in the EV market, calling it a brutal space. And in its business outlook released on 22nd of February this year, the company outlines its new strategy for EVs. Mercedes-Benz will continue to focus on its brand promise to build the world's most desirable cars. Mercedes-Benz will remain strategically focused and tactically flexible and is taking the necessary steps to go all electric. Customers and market conditions will set the pace of the transformation. The company plans to be in a position to cater to different customer needs, whether it's an all-electric drivetrain or an electrified combustion engine, until well into the 2030s. Other sources indicate that there has been a seismic shift within Mercedes, of which the share markets seem to approve. Responding to investor fears that the company has backed the wrong horse with EVs, something I've said myself, Källenius yesterday said Mercedes-Benz remained well positioned to continue to develop and produce combustion engine technology well into the next decade. With a radical reorganization of its production plans likely to have occurred behind the scenes, Källenius said that it is almost like we will have a new lineup in 2027 that will take us well into the 2030s, as reported by Reuters. The car maker's share price briefly rose by 5.9% following confirmation that Benz wasn't abandoning combustion engines. To be honest, I think this is the best we can hope for at the moment. There won't be a wholesale reversal of the EV agenda anytime soon, because the whole thing is too politically ingrained for that to happen. But what I believe we will continue to see is an incremental slippage of targets for EVs and similar incremental relaxing of standards, which will allow ICE cars to continue in production and in use for many decades to come, by which time the alternatives may be sufficiently attractive to entice buyers by themselves without the needs for mandates, incentives and subsidies, and that would be an excellent result for everyone.